In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP.
Good morning, Portugal, and I'd like to welcome you to another fantastic day.
Hey, Gumpers.
Sometimes I look at that screen when Mrs. M is on in the. Hey, hold on a minute. What's happened here? I've put that meme up there, and it's stuck on the screen, stuck to my face. Hold on a minute. Let's start the show properly now. Well, I'm on the anagram. I'm here with the Good Morning Portugal show, live stream and podcast. And sometimes when I'm watching that intro sequence, I think to myself, "There's the lovely Mrs. M, the love of my life, the center of my universe, the object of my affection. Not only next Tuesday, but generally speaking." And I'm a little bit sad because she's not joining me on the show. But I don't need to today because look at this. She is here. Boop. Thank you for joining us today. How are you feeling
Very
today?
welcome. Feeling much better, thank you.
There was a dad joke, especially for you,
I saw it.
that's come through. Decaf coffee is depresso.
Yes,
You went decaf for yourself, didn't you? And caused yourself a healing crisis? Is that
yeah,
what
definitely been having a healing crisis. Yeah, I always get it with coffee. I don't know why I always go back to coffee.
As in
eventually.
You get it if you don't have coffee, right? Because you
Yeah.
just went completely off the coffee and then gave yourself a massive headache.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I often go like for maybe a year or 6 months with no coffee and feel great. But when I come off it, I have like 2 or 3 bad days.
Intense.
Yeah, it is intense.
Intense.
So as part of my
so you're drinking a healthy
cure,
drink instead.
I'm just having a little bit of Coke to get myself back to life.
People listening on the podcast aren't see you holding up a glass of Coca-Cola.
No. Yes,
she
I'm
says,
not.
"I'm
I'm
having
not
a
like
little bit of
snorting a
Coke."
line of Coke.
She's not like those politicians that we love so much.
Yeah.
Who need...
So I've come back to life. Yeah,
Right.
I felt dreadful for a couple of days, and here I am.
Very good. Excellent to see you here in the Good Morning Portugal studio.
We were. If I'm looking a bit flushed, it's because we're having a little bit of a laugh on the intro sequence. Has anyone ever? Has anyone ever? Well, you know, it's like when you're like listening to songs with your loved one, and you change the lyrics just for a bit of fun.
I didn't have to change it very much, to be fair, did I? Because there's a little bit of clarification here.
Yes.
Nom de plume, Lady of the Seven Skirts,
Yes.
has been asking about, is Carl ever going to ring his bell? And she's not up to speed on the fact that that's how the show used to start.
Yes.
It used to start with several dongs.
It did. Who likes a big dong in the morning?
Well, it was
several big dongs first thing in the morning.
One after another.
It was
exhausting.
relentless.
It was relentless. There was a pounding, frankly, and that's how it used to start. And it was a little bit, the whistling itself was a bit marmitey because some people like whistling. Some people it really grates on the ears.
Yeah.
To hear. Some people absolutely love it. And so we'd have the dong, dong, and the Portuguese people. Somebody sent in a message saying, every time your show comes on, my wife thinks someone's died. Like it's the church bells in the village that are ringing.
No.
So I was like, maybe it's time to change. And then Warren Sharm, of course, delivered us that beautiful theme tune that I now know and love, and we all know and love. Well, again, it's a bit marmitey, but that's theme tunes for you, isn't it? I love it. I love its jazziness. And it's also actually a Christmas song. And I did an edit on it so that it would be suitable for everyday use. And then I edited the dong into it. So where Warren Sharm says, Carl rings the bell, that's when I bring a bell in and his member, it's not his member shows, which is what we were laughing at.
We were laughing this morning.
Carl rings his bell and the members show. And we can see all the members are showing now, aren't they?
We were singing Carl rings his bell and his
member
member grows.
You were singing that. I wasn't singing that. Antonio F is here. Coach Turner's here.
Anyway, is
Deagle.
this always this
Owen.
filthy with your normal guests?
Oh, it's, do you
No,
know
it's
what?
just-
It's
it's just
getting.
you and I,
I'm
isn't it?
thinking maybe I am going too far now because.
Yeah, maybe.
Do you think so? You only know when you've
Well,
gone
let's ask.
too far.
People tell us, won't they? if
Well,
it's
look.
too
I mean,
much.
this is a resurrection of
Oops,
of a
where did that come from?
This is the resurrected feature.
That's not. Oh,
Well,
that's one of your things.
yeah.
Show us your pussy or pooch.
Yeah, that's
Hashtag.
yeah.
Yikes.
And that is because we've asked people to send pictures in of their pets. We nearly got a new cat yesterday.
I'd have loved
quite
that.
frankly, here's Andy's cat. Who?
Oh,
is that called a tortoiseshell?
Oh, she's gorgeous.
Isn't she just? And
She's so beautiful.
She
I
is
want her. Sorry.
She is Joaquina, who was found in
Oh.
a bin, I think. Her brother didn't make it, she made it, and then she's a little kitten.
Oh,
Kitten
she's
Nursery.
gorgeous.
And there's Susie from yesterday. Oh, looking all cute as well.
She is. Sorry that I give more praise to cats.
And a new one today.
But this one is very cute.
A little
as well.
bit Peggy-ish, and that from the lady. I hope she's tuned in already.
I realise I need to even up my R's and ums. It's like when you see
Everyone just
babies.
knows that you love cats more than dogs.
Yeah, but it's like when you see babies and
But that is McKelty there.
that's very cute. He's very cute.
McKelty is waiting for a treat, I think.
Did you notice as well? I said that's very cute rather than he or she.
Yeah.
But with that cat, I knew it was a girl.
Is that right?
I think tortoiseshells are all girls.
Oh, okay. You said and all the gingers are male. Is that right?
Not necessarily.
Oh dear.
You can get female gingers,
Yeah.
but that's only if they've got two ginger parents.
All right. Well, I'm thinking of having a gallery on the website, which is called "Show Us Your Pussy or Pooch," and I think that's going to increase traffic.
I think it's going to increase some very naughty traffic as well.
We shall see about that.
Especially if Facebook gets hold of it, you're
Have
going to
we
get
gone
lots
too
of
far?
you'll get lots of new friendship requests, won't
Yeah.
you? From
Well, I do
Busty.
anyway. I have people ringing me at 4:30 in the morning these days, and that I might just put "Show Us Your Pussy" as well, and then ...
Yikes.
Let's see what happens with that. And have we gone too far now?
It's gonna go
there might
readers'
be
wives, isn't
people.
it?
There might be people who are just thinking, "Oh, he's gone too far this time."
Yeah.
It's
Jesus,
ridiculous.
isn't this supposed to be about Portugal?
This show has really become racy. The lady of the you can talk, lady of the seven skirts. And we
Look at everyone wishing us all happy,
Isn't that
good
nice?
morning and
Oh,
everything. It's so lovely.
Sarah, have you done something with your hair? There is something different about you today, Sarah Taylor. Bon dia, Mr. and Mrs. M. I just don't know what it is about you this morning. So, oh, yes, I do. She became a GMP VIP.
Thank you very much, Sarah.
There's just something different about her aura, isn't there?
Yes, definitely.
And her gait
Yes.
as she walks down the street with an added extra magnificence there, which you can if you get when you become a GMP VIP. Gumper dust on you, Sarah Taylor, and thank you very much for your picture of Susie as well, the Shih Tzu.
She's very cute.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Did you manage to get past me saying Shih Tzu without smirking or being silly?
Yeah.
Very good, very grown up.
I know. I'm working on it.
We were showing. So there's another one. There's another cat. There's two cats in this.
Oh yeah,
in this
had
meme
to really
here.
look
But thank you,
hard.
Sarah. By the way, thank you so much. Really, really appreciate your support of the show, and thank you for your pictures of your wine as well on the newly renamed. What do we call it? Food, Wine, and Fun Times in
Oh,
Portugal. That's the new name. For,
again, that might also get you some
what,
fun
the
little
times
pictures.
bit. I hadn't thought about that.
Yes.
Okay, well here is a meme from our guest at 9:30. There he is, the gentleman with the Adidas. Do you say Adidas or Adidas?
I say Adidas.
My Adidas. No, it doesn't work if you do
No.
that, does it? Yay, we've just flown in from the US of A. Finally, paradise. What should I do first? Get my niff or go to the beach? Now, he's known to post these memes up. He's known to post up annoying questions on social media, and he's known to shut the comments off after everyone's really got angry.
That sounds like fun.
He is the Portugueeza, and he's going to join us for the first time. I'm a bit nervous about it, quite honestly, because I don't know what he's going to say or do. He's a bit of a wind-up geezer, and he'll be joining us occasionally, I hope, after this. Well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes on this first time. But he's a lot of fun. And look, it's fantastic meme here. He's included many of our favourites, hasn't he, over the years? You were saying
there's no Antonio DiCaprio.
Antonio DiCaprio.
No, what's his name?
Is that Leonardo's brother?
Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah, where's Caprio?
Where's DiCaprio?
DiCaprio,
Bernie Sanders.
doing that funny
Bernie
like,
Sanders
smirk.
isn't in there, is he? The Dos Equis gentleman is not there. The sophisticated grey-haired gentleman, the grinning grey-haired gentleman is in there.
Yeah.
But that's great, and I love it. He's good. He does Portuguese dad jokes basically as well. So that's a lovely hybrid for the show this morning.
Sure.
Right, Mrs.
So
So
what's
good to
coming
have
up
you
then?
here. Well, we
Okay.
have. I thanked Sarah of a Munson's money moment as well today.
That'd be nice.
Somebody won. somebody won 77,000 euros on the scratch cards. We'll tell that story when Munson's money moment comes. But let's see how everyone's doing this morning, shall we?
Yeah.
Coach Turner's got himself some new starting blocks, and James is able to join us for the first half hour before he catches his bus to Lisbon for a day with a Konkan Hanny and the indomitable Joao F. Did I say Cátia Lima was joining us at 9?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, good. To tell us.
Oh no, you didn't. You told me this morning, but you haven't told the audience.
The wonderful Luso legend, who is Cátia Lima.
Compass.
She will be joining us at 9 o'clock this morning to show us how to celebrate Portuguese Valentine's Day or Valentine's Day in a Portuguese style. And I've been singing to you already, haven't I? I found the work of José Pinhal, who's a kind of kitschy 70s singer. And I've loved the track that I found, new to me. Obviously, Portuguese people may know it well already. Baby Meu Amorzinho, which has got some great lyrics. I might learn that for Valentine's Day and sing that to you. Talking of which, we have Valentine's Day karaoke. Did Veronica send this to you? Did Rani invite you down to the Algarve?
She did. She invited me down on 16th of Feb, Thursday. There we go. Yeah. There's a karaoke night. Let me just sing this. Read this out. Sing, dance.
Are you turning your head so you can read it?
Sing, dance, or just watch and enjoy.
What? What kind of Valentine's do is that?
It just sounds like fun.
A fun and mixer.
Yeah. So 6:30 is drinks, meet and greet. Order your own drinks downstairs. You can come down earlier if you like.
Yeah, on the Cafe Latte terrace.
They're going downstairs so early.
This is disgusting. I thought we were stooping low.
And then there's a dinner available with sit-down tables on the terrace reserved for those dining.
Wow, make new friends.
Yeah. So basically, I mean, who's not going to enjoy that? I mean, that sounds like a load of fun.
Karaoke. I haven't done karaoke for ages.
We used to love that, didn't we?
I do like
Don't Go Breaking My Heart and all that.
Oh, yes.
All those classics we used to sing together.
Yes.
Like Fantasy by Earth, Wind and Fire.
Yes.
Loads of good tunes. Super. But yeah, if you are around Villarreal de Sant Antonio, you might fancy going to the Valentine's fun pub night at Cafe Latte Terrace.
Well, you can come earlier downstairs if you like. That's what that will forever be known as.
That's nice of her, isn't it, to invite everyone down?
Sorry, I've just seen this meme, which I'm going to read for the podcast listeners. Love you, podcast listeners. Oh, I've just reached a milestone in my podcasting career. I've had 300,000 downloads.
No way.
Yes, look, you podcast folks are lovely. Can we get a podcast listener on the show one morning?
That would be wonderful.
Wouldn't it? So that people can see what a podcast listener looks like. They're a kind of secretive bunch, aren't they? Here he is. In his natural environment, the podcast listener I've got. Good morning, Portugal. Quietly listening on his headphones. I've accidentally swallowed a lot of Scrabble tiles, Mrs. M.
Are you going to be all right?
My next trip to the bathroom could spell disaster.
Yeah, it's a bit on the corny side.
Corny side. Yes, yeah. My next trip to the bathroom could be also on the corny side. I think you know what I mean.
Oh, Munson,
sorry, everybody. It really is awful this morning.
Yeah,
isn't
come
it?
on, let's get out of this rankness.
Yeah, I think it's going to be difficult. Another one for you. Look at this. We had wonderful Bobby O'Reilly. Bobby Double O'Reilly. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, he's a bit glam, isn't he?
Licensed to fill those new homes. I'm riffing on it. Yes, indeed.
Love it.
Yes. People are forming an orderly queue to buy his houses.
What?
You have to be a bit of a James Bond aficionado.
Oh, right.
Little known fact for movie nerds then. Lee Marvin refused to film in Ireland due to being offered a sandwich every time he introduced himself. And he would have gone something like, "Hey, I'm Lee Marvin." You say Hank Marvin, don't you?
Yeah, we say Hank Marvin.
But isn't that funny?
Yeah, I guess.
Not to you,
for anyone that's not familiar with Cockney rhyming slang
or Irish rhyming slang.
Yeah, I mean that's Irish rhyming slang. Yeah. We used to say Hank Marvin. I'm feeling Hank Marvin, which means starving. And hence that.
Yeah.
What are you doing behind the
I am
scenes?
rapidly down. Oh, Leopold is a beauty as well. Owen is showing us his pussy this morning. Yeah. Fantastic. And we have got. I've got an ugununu for you this morning, of which I'm rapidly downloading the pictures. And I was going to say to you, could you keep saying hello to everybody in the chat? But you can't, can you? Because you can't see it. Because I'm rapidly downloading.
How's the old Guess the Gumper going? I mean, you've got all these different things going on, haven't you? Since I've last been on the show.
Remembered. I think we know who this is, don't we?
Yeah.
I mean, he does look like a rebel without a cause, doesn't he?
He looks like he should have been in the Brat Pack, but like, you know, the 80s one, you know, with definitely. All those, you know, with
Breakfast in America.
Yeah.
Is that what those?
No, Breakfast in America. The Breakfast Club.
The Breakfast Club. What's Breakfast in America? That's a Supertramp album, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. All right. No one would have noticed that.
I just imagine him, like, you know, sat in the detention with Molly Ringwald, you know, doing something naughty.
Exactly. And he would have, I imagine that's not exactly what was on his mind at that age.
Yeah.
And lovely. That is Frank.
That is
people did correctly guess that was Frank. Yeah. Another handsome devil here. Look at this. Which actor does he look like?
Well, he looks a bit like
Dennis Quaid.
Clint Eastwood.
Bit of Dennis Quaid going on as well.
That, yeah.
Very nice picture.
Looks like a couple of different
Marlon Brando vibes.
Yeah, I was going to go with Take That as well. There's a bit of
yes, there is
Jason Orange type look.
Exactly. So that good-looking fella, who is that? I have been sent another one that has.
That's a little bit harder for people to get because he hasn't. Has he actually been on the show?
Yeah, definitely. And his work has been on the show.
His work has definitely been on the show.
His work has been on the show. We've spoken to him. People will know him. He is known and appreciated.
Very handsome man
in this community as well. I have been sent another one, which I can't. I'm going to show you now, Mrs. M. I can't show everybody else yet because it needs a little bit of work doing on it.
Really?
Yes. Before I share it.
Why are you showing it to me then?
So that you can tell me. This one, look at this. This person's got like Sharpie around their nipples. Can we show that? Not today. Maybe it's that on the other guy's face that I'm worried about. This is some sort of ritual.
I would say let's do the why don't we do it like fully clothed? I would say.
Well, I can't.
You're fully clothed.
You're going to Photoshop some clothes onto that picture?
No. I just think if you're going to send in a photo of you in the 80s, you know, Guess the Gumper,
I don't know what you're going to say
it should be fully clothed. Okay, no mankinis or.
Really?
Yeah, because you can't show them on the screen, can you?
What? You can't show male nipples? Is that right?
I don't know. It's a little. A bit too close to the bone, so to speak.
Literally, as in the rib cage. Okay, all right. Let me bring on the ugununu pictures of this morning and Leopold. That's the neighbour's cat, apparently. Oh, and we've been sent an rather excellent Leonardo DiCaprio meme as well, so that he's not left out.
Oh, that's good.
I wonder if it's suitable for display. However, wheels on a shopping cart.
That's very clever. That is very
good,
clever.
that one, isn't it?
Yeah.
And what a fantastic face he has.
Yeah, he does.
For memery. Thank you very much, Francis. Working and lurking, I think, this morning. And look, okay, show us your pussy. That will be Leopold. He's a beauty, isn't he?
Yeah.
I'm thinking he's male. I guess with Leopold, he would be, right?
Yeah, I'm just thinking of Jungle Book. You know, this lovely cat is so sleek and
very beautiful,
dark and chocolatey.
Should we have a gallery then of the pooches and pussies from the Good Morning Portugal show? Okay, Ugununu, this picture here.
Yeah.
Where are we, Mrs. M? Can you figure that out yet?
No.
That's really put you on the spot there, isn't it?
No.
Enjoy that view for a moment.
Well, I can't because you've changed the view. I can't see it.
You see that man's nipples again, can't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Who knew? The photos here from Wikipedia, and this will be the UNESCO World Heritage Site of Angra do Heroísmo. Is a city and municipality on Terceira Island, Portugal, and one of the 3 capital cities of the Azores. Didn't know it had 3 capitals. Okay, founded in 1478, Angra was historically the most important city in the Azores. As a seat of the Bishop of Azores, it previously served as the capital city of Portugal during the Liberal Wars. There you go, Liberal Wars. They sound awful, don't they? People warring liberally like that. Look at that. There's a close up. It is
that reminds me a little bit of Indonesia.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Is there a Portuguese influence in Indonesia as well?
Probably actually, I think there is. Yeah.
Okay. And some claim that Angra was founded by Alvaro Martins. Others contend that Angra was founded by Jacome de Bruges. Jacome, I've not heard that name before. A Fleming in the service. A Fleming, is that a Belgian person?
I would
Fleming?
imagine.
Or
yeah.
a Flem. I guess you wouldn't want to be called a Flem, would you? A Flemish person, a Fleming, in the service of Prince Henri, the navigator there. Very good. Thank you very much for your Ugununu there. Excellent
Can
stuff.
I have a look at that photo again?
Certainly, yeah. There you go.
Wow.
That's the Western influence in Indonesia. Catholic Church is popping up.
No,
around
it was
the
stonework from the photo before that reminded me of
That's a bathhouse,
Indonesia.
Yeah,
well, they had bathhouses.
Yeah.
You know, I saw quite a few things like that in Bali.
Very good.
Very beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, we are slowly getting back onto the topic of Portugal, aren't we? Since this is called Good Morning
We
Portugal.
just did the Azores.
Yeah, but like the pussy and dogs
Portuguese
and things.
people have nipples as well.
Okay, and dogs and cats, they are everywhere around the world.
Yeah. Okay.
So, what else is going on today with our guests? Who have we got coming on? Like we've got
What
Cátia
happened to
Lima.
you?
Well, I'm just,
Getting it back on topic.
Yeah, a little bit.
Teacher. A deep thought. Let not yon portal strike. Portal is inside the word Portugal, of course, isn't it?
Yeah,
I'm bringing
it
it
is.
back as a matter of
Yes,
urgency.
well done.
Let not yon portal strike thee upon thy horches in the midst of egress.
What does that mean?
I think that's also disgusting. It does sound like
that does sound a bit naughty, doesn't
yon
it?
portal, yeah.
Love an explanation of that.
And clearly the author of it has made themselves anonymous, which is equally worrying. The midst of egress.
We are living in the times of censorship.
I think that might be in flagrante delictado, the midst of egress there. So yes, yon portal. Portuguese saying, quem. Do you want to do this?
Quem vê cara. Is that cara or Sara?
Cara, I think.
Oh, like dear or sweet, is it?
Yeah,
I don't know.
yes.
Now vê coração. Coração, yeah.
Coração.
He who looks at the face doesn't see the heart. You can't tell a book by its cover.
Very prescient for the Valentine's.
Oh yeah, cara, face.
Yes,
yeah.
There you go. And isn't it nice that maybe cariño and querido might have the same root as cara, the face, the face of one's dear ones. There you go. We'll come back to the other dad jokes later on. God score tip of the day then. We've been talking about mental health this week, being with those you love, taking time out on your own and doing what you're passionate about. But, and it's a big but, if you're in any doubt about your mental state, please talk with someone. I would never stop talking. Too many bottle it up until it overwhelms them. Talk to friends, family, or complete strangers. Yes, fair enough. Open up. And that reminds me actually of the meetup yesterday. It was so lovely just for people to come along and we were told what a friendly and warm meetup it was. And it's a great place. If you are an expat and you're away from people and you're feeling a bit lonely, come along on a Wednesday or to many of the other expats meetups or any kind of meetup. Get with people, as Coach Turner is saying here, of course, because these are cycles, aren't they? Upward and downward, vicious cycles. The more you spend time alone and think alone, the more that can compound. So please do open up and talk to someone. Talk to us here. Just say hi, and you are bound to get a warm welcome here. And your quote of the day, Coach Turner, which is turns from that rather lovely support of anyone struggling a little bit to focusing the attention on the houses of parliament around the world. You can't get rich in politics unless you're a crook, Harry Truman.
Yikes.
Unless you're born rich and you go into politics, which some do, right? Bon dia todos from Antonio F as well. Morning, Antonio. Great to hear you and see you this morning. Capricorn Chris. I want to check out that Aki Del Mar that I know you love at Nazaré. Sorry, I like the styling. It's diner style, isn't it? Diner style with seafood. That'd be great. I want to try that one day. Hola, bon dia, alegría de bonito. Mon Carapacho from Jean. Good morning to you, Jean. Lovely to see you here.
I realised Jean's been here now. Has it been over a month now?
I think so.
It must be coming up to that.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
How are you finding it, Jean? Like, has it changed your life? Yeah. I'd love to know how you're settling in because, our first month or 2 or 6 or a year, they're all very different, aren't they, as you settle? I'd love to know more. It's lovely that you greet us every day, but I'd love to hear, your first impressions and whatnot. Sorry about that.
No, don't mean sorry at all about checking in with the Gumpers. My tea is past that sweet spot. It's now gone cold. it just as a threshold past which there is no return.
Yeah.
It's gone there. Bon dia todos. Oh, but I have it in my Good Morning Portugal mug. Lots. Thank you all for all your feedback about the mugs. We are coming close to production. Bon dia todos. We are the dupla dinamica.
Yeah, we've come back. I've returned.
The dynamic duo are here. And Deagle, weather report then. Nippy, 2 degrees in Belfast. Dry, warm, and the high 7 there. Been struggling the last few days with asthma. 3rd course booster steroids started Monday. Does that make you beefy as well and run faster? There, Deagle. The cold air just bites into your lungs. Yeah, that sounds really hard, Deagle. So lots of love to you, mate. Oh, those gongs. I missed that opening, as the bishop said about the actress. And there's me. I'm giving an.
You should go to Ian's comment just underneath.
Should I? I miss a big dog in the morning. It's my head. I'm hoping there's going to be a God Squad tip of the day about that. Or was that the God Squad tip of the day
was.
At some point? Making it hard to get about looking forward to the clocks changing, warmer weather. Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Definitely. Sarah,
You've done that one already.
I'm going to do it again.
All right.
Bon dia, Antonio. And the show has become racy. Well, it always was, but we took it to new levels, I think, today. And maybe, we need to pull back a bit.
The Portugal Sun, that's a new one I've not seen.
It's Francis's YouTube name.
Oh,
isn't it lovely?
Very nice.
It's a nice play on words as well. Bon dia a todos. Happy Thursday. Carl, you never answer at 4:30 in the morning. What? Oh, I see.
This is Pete phoning you.
Yes. Cátia Lima's getting ready. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get the Munson's money moment out of the way. We'll do a few more comments after.
Did you want my
Cátia has joined us?
Forecast for Valentine's Day?
Yes,
should I do that in between Cátia and
absolutely? Yes.
And what's his I was going to say what's his name then? Your second guest today, whose name I've just forgotten.
The Portugueeza.
The Portuguese.
Don't be upsetting him.
Yeah, I don't want to.
No, Bairandi is here.
I'll get short shrift from him.
Mama Lama. Talk about ding dong. Mama Lama is here as well from Virginia, USA.
Hey.
Paul Richards too.
Do you know what? Every time I come on, there's new names. I've not heard of Mama Lama before.
Gina C is here.
It's lovely. And Gina C. I've not.
And Jakob Peterson
wow.
as well. Good morning all. In the second largest city in Portugal, they don't have stationary Hey, look at this.
That's very
Portugal
clever.
Dad joke.
This is very good.
That is an amazing debut. We might have seen you once or twice before, Jakob, but you're welcome with material of that kind.
That's a very high caliber dad joke.
In the second largest city in Portugal, they don't have stationary computers, only portable ones.
That's very good.
Very good. Very good.
Okay.
Quick Munson's money moment. And Suze is here as well. Suze has just popped in as well. So let me just give you the jingle for Munson's money moment, because this has got the whistling on it.
Has it?
Yeah.
That woman has got great teeth on your money moment.
When you
intro.
But there's not often people with bad teeth on those clip photos.
But you know what? From that angle that she's, you can't see any cavities at all.
No, that's right.
It's very impressive.
I feel like playing it again so we can have another look. But
you have to wait until tomorrow.
So if you search British teeth, you're not going to get a picture like that.
No,
are you,
definitely
in
not.
A photo library.
So, what is the purpose of the money moment? Is it to
talk about money?
Okay.
And our association, our fond and glad association with Spartan FX, with whom you can open a free account. And somebody has done that. Thank you, you billionaire gumpos decided to use Spartan FX. Much appreciated.
What does Spartan FX do?
They're an FX currency exchange company, Mrs.
Right.
M.
Okay. Very cool.
I see what you did there. Very good. You set me up beautifully.
Yeah,
and not only that, they are award winning. They have a platinum FIFO award, and people love them here in this community. Actually,
they're really. She's really good, isn't she, Sarah?
Sarah's great fun. Her photos of Lisbon and Porto are in our blog at the moment. She's over here in the country, and James spoke very fondly about them on Monday, which I must extract from the show. Anyway, very quickly, because I want to keep Cátia waiting. 77 grand. It might be Cátia. We'll have to ask her. One lucky player has won more than. Do you think our guests would still come on a Good Morning Portugal show if they won 77 grand?
Yeah, of course they would.
Good. One lucky player has won more than.
But if we won 77, I don't know if we would. Would we show up?
I would definitely show up.
Of course we would.
And I'd share it out with the Gumpers here. $77 grand. One lucky player has won more than 77,000 on a scratch card. Excuse me, in Portugal.
They want
Which one?
77,777. That's a lot of
Ooh.
sevens. That's nice.
Look at that's a lucky number, clearly.
Mm.
These are the older scratch cards that are very popular in Portugal.
Yeah.
Yes,
We never
look
get
at
them
that.
like that, do we?
We've won. I think I won €80, didn't I, one time?
Yeah, and we've
Did
won
I
a
tell you
few
about?
free.
Did I tell you about that?
No,
or
I'm
did I
not
just
sure you
spend
did.
it secretly? Okay. According to the Palquente Orguedes Cafe, so hot bread cafe in
Yeah.
Famalicão, not the one down the road from us, but the one in Braga.
Mm.
The maximum prize in the scratch card 7 was 1 in the cafe. There you go. The 7 scratch card has a maximum prize of 77,777. So it must be universally a lucky number, the 7, right? Over here in Portugal as well. It cost €5 to buy, but that €5 won them 77 grand. Not bad,
Wow.
huh? That is your Munson's money moment for this morning. Let's bring her on
Well,
to the
that's some
screen.
good news, isn't it?
Very nice for that Bragaense person. Good morning to you, Cátia. How are you? Lovely to see you.
Morning. I'm
Hello.
okay,
How are
thanks.
you?
Hello,
Good.
I'm okay.
Glad to hear it. Somebody from Braga would be Bragaense?
Bracarense.
Bracaense, okay. And that was
Bracarense, because Braga comes, the name Braga comes from the Latin Bracara, Augusta. So someone from Braga would be a Bracarense with a C.
Bracarense. With a C. There you go. That's good. And a Bracarense is 77 grand better off. Well, actually, on a balance sheet basis, they are 76,955, aren't they? If you take out their initial outlay, although they may have.
They're probably going to have to pay a. I was going to swear then.
You
A load.
didn't you?
They're going to pay a load of tax as well.
Cátia, tell me that the Portuguese government do not punish people with tax on their lottery wins.
They do.
Oh,
They
so
do.
20. So no, they have to pay a fine for winning the lottery.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's sort of like that. It's like, I'm so happy I got all this money. Well, not all of this money, but I'm so happy. It's kind of like
a roller coaster ride of emotions, isn't it? Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yay, 1 million.
Oh,
No, sorry, not 1 million. Yeah.
But okay, I've got new friends. Okay, super. Oh, and Antonio, giving us the text on that Bracara Augusta. So the people of Braga are known as the Bracarenses, as you said there, of course, Cátia. So good to see you. You are taking us through how to behave appropriately at the Valentine's Festival. Have I not? Is appropriately the wrong choice of word there?
Well, first of all, we don't really. I mean, Valentine's in Portugal is a fairly recent thing.
Yeah.
And of course, it came along with lots of consuming, right? Lots of buying and shopping and all of that.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to notice, and I have a 6-year-old daughter, right? And it's interesting to notice that her generation is being influenced by Valentine's in the Anglo-Saxon Valentine's tradition in a different way, and they're celebrating Valentine's much more in a, love in a broader sense of the word. It's like love, friendship, love for your parents, teachers, family, friends, all of that.
Very good, very good.
Yeah.
That's coming from school, is it, to broaden the definition there? Yeah, because I suppose, especially when you're a teenager at school, what a horrible time that is. When some people are getting Valentine's cards, some aren't. Sometimes you have to write your own, don't you, so you don't look bad. not that I ever did that. An awkward time for teen, for people of all ages, I suppose. So that's really good, isn't it? That they're approaching it in that way. And like the point you make, I think there is, of course, like Halloween, it's a somewhat of an import as well, isn't it? And another opportunity to spend money and for the supermarkets to wheel out
stuff.
Yeah. But the Portuguese, I think, are quite romantic. Anyway, right? It's in the blood, in the genes. I would say this is a romantic race.
I would say so. Yes. At least I don't want to go. No, I don't want to go into stereotypes. But compared to I think people in Southern Europe tend to be perhaps more. How can I say this? More outspoken about their affections.
Yes. Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
no, I understand that. Fair enough. Yeah, yeah. Compared to the neighbours, of course, as well. As
Well, I
we
mean,
sometimes remark.
yeah, I mean, like in terms of showing feelings and being open
Yes.
about friendships and things like that. I mean, one thing that I've noticed, like from obviously growing up in the UK and then like living in France and going to, you know, Southern Europe, is when you see people holding hands, you know, who are just friends, like, you know, you see guys being a lot more touchy-feely with each other in a way that, you know, they don't do so much in the UK unless
Yeah.
they're really drunk.
Yes.
You know, they've got their arms around each other like great
Yes.
big football.
That's what it takes.
Hooligan.
Buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love you, man. Yeah, yeah, it's interesting. So it's much, but for us, yeah, it's all relative, isn't it? But we certainly find that being in Portugal society a lot warmer and loving,
Yeah.
and obviously so. I think it's unfair, isn't it, to judge people by, as we were saying with the Portuguese saying of the day, not judging a face, not judging a heart by its face. You don't really know what's
Yeah.
going on beneath the surface.
Yeah.
But this, of course, is the time of year for the outward display of affection. So we have we have an astrological forecast, and we are willing to take. We're keen to take your counsel on this matter, Cátia.
My counsel, what? Sorry.
Your advice on what to do. I mean, there may be people in this community who think back home where I come from. I fancy somebody, so I'm going to send them a Valentine's card this year, or leave a great big bunch of flowers on their doorstep. Is that likely to get them arrested or shunned forever by Portuguese society, for example?
No. I think it would be appreciated. Yes.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And what other tips have you got for us on this matter?
Oof. I wasn't really expecting this.
Oh, sorry, I thought we were doing the Valentine special today.
Yeah. But I was going to talk about indie brands, remember, and vintage brands.
Of course, I
mean, it's
quite clearly.
You know
there's this
Carl's
cultural.
memory is terrible.
It is. Maybe
There's this cultural, several cultural aspects to this, so it's a bit complicated. But I think, well, at least speaking from a woman's point of view, and I think this is fairly universal. But anyway, I would advise, yes, open displays of affection, and know, because I've noticed this. I've known so many couples over the years, where the woman is Portuguese and the guy is from the UK. So just be clear about your intentions. No bad communication, no going back and forth with yes and no. Just because, as we've been talking about, we tend to be very straightforward, I think, at least generally speaking, with feelings. And even it's interesting because even with when dealing with kids, we tend to be much more, as you said, much more touchy feeling, much more about hugging kids and kissing them on the cheek and all of that, tickling. So being clear about regardless of chocolates and flowers and that sort of thing.
Okay, so nice bit of coaching there, and I'm sorry, I apologise that I didn't. I
improvise.
No, that was perfect, and we have noticed that. I mean, how warm and close the teenagers are with each other, hugging each other and kissing each other when they see each other first.
It's really gorgeous. It's really
a lovely thing. Really a lovely thing. So that's it. Forgive me. We're basically talking about the gifts you might give for Valentine's Day, right? On our indie brand, for which you are somewhat famous now in this environment. Your connection with the indie brands to keep us out of the supermarket.
Some of them you can find them in supermarkets.
Okay, all right.
But the thing is, the thing is, some of these brands are not indie in the sense of only half a dozen people know them. They're indie more in this indie and vintage, but indie more in the sense of Body Shop before it was bought by L'Oreal, sort of thing. Not that tiny, but not very big either.
Yes, yeah. Okay.
And their brands have been around for quite a long time, so yeah.
All right. So if I just take Mrs. M off the screen, can you give me the first one that I can buy for Mrs. M this
year? Well, should we start with what? Chocolates, skincare, chocolates? chocolates. Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
I'm not going to give the game away here. If we go through them, I'll keep it a secret which one I like.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Good idea.
And obviously, she'll keep it a secret from what she's getting from me as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what? We never get presents for each other.
But we
do
might this year because this will be supporting a Portuguese producer, won't it?
Yeah, but the thing is, you don't have to stick to giving presents only on Valentine's. That's the whole
Yeah,
point.
Mrs.
Yeah,
M.
yeah. Any day is a good day
Yeah.
for a present. I mean, right?
Mm.
Even to give one yourself to yourself. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's not a bad
Yes,
idea.
that's a good idea as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Be your own date. Be your own Valentine's.
Yes.
Yeah. So, should we start perhaps with a brand which has been around for quite a long time, and
Yeah.
you've probably seen them in Portuguese cafes, especially.
Dr. Bayard's.
No. I
Especially
just
on a
get it up. I wanted to English page. It's called Regina chocolates. You've probably seen
Okay.
them in cafes. They also have this
I haven't.
chocolate
That's a new
umbrellas.
one
They're
on
like
me.
cone
That's
shaped.
a new one. Okay.
No, you have seen them. I'm sure you have. Maybe you just didn't notice, but they've been around.
when I
And of course,
yes.
yeah.
It's so interesting, isn't it? It's all about the branding. So when you said it, I haven't seen. I didn't think I'd seen it, but then as soon as you see, oh, well, she's fantastic as well. As soon as you see the branding and the color and the logo, yes, of course we have seen that. Haven't we? Yeah, making the world sweeter. How lovely is that?
And in some cafes they even have this. They're basically replicas of something that used to exist decades ago in Portuguese grocery shops from way back when, which was a kind of it's a bit of a card, a yellow card, I think, and then you have little circles, and then you pay I don't know how much to puncture one of them, and there's always some chocolate. You always win something, but you never know what it's going to be.
Our eldest loves it. So you get the little
you always get something.
stylus, don't you? And you punch through the hole, and then a little ball comes out, doesn't it? And yes, and then that'll be your number or color. The color of the ball tells you which chocolate you're going to get. We love that.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And is that connected with this brand here?
Yes. That's the brand that makes it. Yes.
Okay.
And that's something that used to be around, I'm not sure, but maybe, I wouldn't say 40s, but maybe 50s, 60s in small grocery shops.
They go back to 1927 as a brand. So one of these brilliant Portuguese brands here. Thank you so much for finding this one for us.
I'd love a dress like that.
Yeah,
it's cute, isn't it? I know.
I'd like it a little bit longer, not as short as that, but it's beautiful.
Okay, so Katia, before we go to the next one, look, it's interesting how chocolate has changed over the years as well, isn't it? You know, it just used to be a bar of chocolate, didn't it? Yeah. Now there's all of these what do they call it? A brand extension in the marketing world. There's a pineapple one, an orange one. That sounds good.
Some of those showed up in the 90s. I remember them. They were like wow, good novelty.
When you're a kid, think maracuja chocolate with passion fruit in it. Yogurt and strawberry. Not sure about that, but
I'm looking at the caramel and salt. That looks great.
You and me both, Mrs. M. And whole hazelnuts there. And look at this. This was never a thing when we were kids. That's strange, isn't it? That they've gone into the bodybuilding market as well, or the fitness area. And this, of course, a new healthier chocolate. Has anyone found a healthier chocolate that tastes as good as the unhealthy one? I'm not so sure. So I wonder what sweetener they're using.
Yeah, what have they put in it? Mr. M, you know, just to get me full fat chocolate, right?
Yeah, maybe one of those bad boys, right?
Proper sugar in.
And what percentage of cacao would you want?
85.
85 for you. Okay, that's superb, Katia. And brilliant. Okay, so we now know and love Regina. It looks a bit sort of Betty Boop-ish. Yeah. And she's looking good. Born in 1927 as well. Excellent stuff.
Yeah. So one other brand of chocolates, also an old one, it's called Avianense.
Ah, okay.
Let me get. It's a slightly different approach, but also a very old brand. They started out in 1914. They're a bit different. They're more into bonbons, well, other things as well. You can also find them sometimes, some of their products in tourist shops. Basically, they have like the chocolate sardines and all of that. But basically, again, it's an adaptation to,
they're really beautiful looking, aren't they?
They are nice, aren't they?
They've taken some time there, haven't they, to make it look good?
Chocolate sardines. Now, I think that needs some clarification, doesn't it? They are entirely made of chocolate. There is no
Chocolate,
sardine.
yeah.
They're in
Yeah,
the
no.
shape
Oh,
of a sardine.
Gosh, I did wonder about that as well.
What, a chocolate-covered sardine?
Yeah.
Yes, very good. Okay, and you say bonbons, as in that would in Portugal that would be an individually wrapped sweet, would it? A bonbon?
It's what's showing up on the image.
Okay.
Yeah, the little chocolate with usually some kind of filling, not necessarily, but usually some kind of filling.
Okay, and is this a reference to where they're made, as in Avianense?
Yeah, I think they're from the north.
Okay.
Let me just check.
Oh, they've got a lovely. I love these timelines. That
Yeah,
you
they're
see
beautiful,
on,
aren't
and
they?
there's
Yeah,
their-
Viana do Castelo. Yeah.
Of course, Viana do Castelo.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that Santa, the
we've
Father
got-
Christmas they've got there.
He looks a bit angry.
He does
He's
look
like
a bit
he's
angry.
been woken
Also
up.
want to be eaten.
Yes, look at that. Oh, that's superb. And some dipping chocolate. Follow us on Instagram. Very good.
And they've got a giveaway.
Have
If you
they?
go- yeah.
Hold on, let's have a look at that. All right, there's the giveaway, folks. I'll put this website address into the. Let's see if we're lucky here, like those the lottery scratch card winners. There.
That would be good, wouldn't
Let's
it?
see. Yeah, everyone, have a go at this. Have a go at the giveaway. Victoria's in, and Vivian just down the road in Ponte Lima, of course, at Viana do Castelo. There, you can go and see the factory probably. And St. Catherine is in as well this morning. Portugal e outros. Good morning to you, Kate. This morning, that's fantastic. Thank you very much for that one as well. There, Katia, very good. Avianense, superb.
Yeah.
Yes, very nice indeed. A day trip to that, I think. Bob and Viv. Oh, look, more excellent original Portuguese graphics, and a lovely sort of celebration of the modern architecture, based on their.
Oh wow! Look at that in the factory.
I hope everyone's. Oh, you are seeing this good on the screen. That's how they're made.
Wow,
that looks like a printing press, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
What a beautiful shop. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. Okay.
Oh, are they the sardines, the chocolate sardines?
In a tin. They do them in a tin.
Fantastic.
Did I just see
Yeah,
that?
yeah. Little tin of sardines. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
An excellent idea.
Oh, we like those
$2.
Yes, but it's not a guarda-chuva, is it? When it's in that when you buy it in chocolate, there's another word, isn't there, for umbrella in Portuguese?
We call it sombrinha.
Sombrinha. That's it.
Sombrinha.
Yeah. Look at this. I can't take my eyes off.
No, I can't either.
They're range here. Okay,
Katia,
sorry.
what's your next recommendation then?
Beg your pardon.
Also on chocolates, and another brand from the north, from Porto, Arcadia chocolates. They're from Porto, also, an old brand. They're a bit more upscale, I would say.
Yes.
They also have a few biscuits, but mostly it's chocolates. It's chocolates, yes. And I think their most famous products. You'll find this in good shops as well. Is something we call. I'm not sure if you've ever seen it in supermarkets. There's this little Portuguese biscuit called línguas de gato.
Yes.
Cat's tongue.
They make something like that, but out of chocolate. It's basically the same shape, but out of chocolate.
Oh, wow.
Love this.
Yeah.
Good our suggestions.
I mean, they're the perfect, they're perfectly bite-sized then, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
perfect
if you can have only one, but
Yes.
so it's like a double cat tongue, isn't it?
Yeah.
That shape, that's a very interesting shape of chocolate there, the cat's tongues. This website obviously translating. And a stevia chocolate, going back to different types of sweeteners, there's stevia rather than aspartame, or one of the nastier sweeteners there, and a milk chocolate cat's tongue as well. Oh, and the cookies, yes, I think you mentioned those, didn't you? Oh, and tea. They do Azorian black tea.
we'll get to that later.
You will get to that. Oh, that's good. Look at this. Truffle chocolate, Tanzania. They are
And
really.
you see those little things on the that's shaped like vegetables and carrots and all that.
Yes.
Is that marzipan?
No, that's something that we eat for Easter. I remember back in the 80s, it was a bit. They used to be filled with liquor, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's basically made out of sugar, hot sugar. So you have to bite into it to get the liquor out. Or you can just go and then.
I really like the port wine chocolate as well there, Carl,
yeah.
just in case you're wondering.
Just so I know.
The
Okay.
little port cups, they look gorgeous.
They do look nice, don't they? All of that port's dribbling out of the beautiful high quality chocolate. Stop it, Carl. Okay, and I'll put a link to them as well. This is fantastic. Cátia, thank you for this resource this morning. Personally, I'm not crazy for chocolate or truffles, more of a champagne and caviar kind of girl, just so everybody knows.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to let people know
it is, isn't
how
it?
you'd like to be celebrated.
To avoid disappointment. Mrs. M, I think a good moment for a bit of astro gumper dust.
Oh.
Cátia, bear with us for a moment. We're going to do a quick astrological Valentine's forecast here. What's going to be happening here, Mrs. M?
Okay, well, I actually think that Valentine's Day should be extended to a Valentine 3 days.
Yeah.
So it starts on Tuesday and then goes Wednesday and Thursday, because the energy for Valentine's Day astrologically is kind of racy, kind of exciting. The moon's in Sagittarius, which means people are feeling quite free.
Watch out.
And a little bit less uptight. You know, people are wanting a lot of fun. And there's a lot of free flowing conversation, and also this feeling of connecting in a way that was always meant to happen. You know, so like if you're single and you want to go on a date or you want to treat somebody, there is this feeling of connecting in a way that is absolutely meant to be. Okay, so it's all very much sort of featured in the day. There's this lovely energy in the afternoon towards being generous and expanded and just feeling really optimistic and hopeful. And then towards the evening, as the evening comes in, there's this sort of vulnerability coming up from the moon and Chiron. So it feels like it's a real good time to be really, really open about your intentions and your feelings, and you know, how grateful or how happy you are with somebody. So it's really like don't hold back energy. Now the magic for me, I think, really starts right at the end of Valentine's Day, towards the 15th, because there's this really lovely and it happens once a year, but Venus is connecting with Neptune, and they're two romantics. Now Venus is the planet of love, Neptune's a planet of higher love and connection, and they're coming together in the sign of Pisces, and they have come together in the sign of Pisces for the last, I don't know, probably 10 years or so. But it's kind of a special moment where people are really a lot more sort of fixed on the idea of like the merge between two people. So it's like bum chicka wow wow, kind of like let's get it on, you know, but in quite a beautiful way. Not in a kind of porny way, as I just kind of demonstrated. Yes. Now, Wednesday's a really great day as well. Like if you're also wanting to start a business with the person that you love, or if you're wanting to get really creative with them and sort of like manifest your love and like really put it out there, Wednesday's just a really great day to think about your bigger plans. You know, like how far do you want to go? Where do you want? Oh, that sounded really off. But like how far would you like your relationship to go in terms of the world? Like what would you like to create together? So it's like got tons of fertility energy and lots of sort of birthing energy. It's the time to like commit to something with your partner, you know, like not just a business necessarily, but a direction, you know, a way of life or something like that. And then on Thursday, it's a little bit serious. It's almost like you've got too much gumper dust.
Never too much gumper
you've got
dust.
a little bit too sort of enthusiastic. And then on Thursday, you're not coming down with a crash, but it actually feels like it's a time to use the energy to plan and get all of your ducks in a row. You know, it's a time to actually build things. Now, if you like next week, if you are in like a building stage in terms of a business or a concept or a lifestyle, then use Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday's your day to just really feel big and plan and brainstorm, and then Thursday's your day to sort of rein it all back in and start building. So I think it's quite interesting when you look at the overall sort of energy of Valentine's Day and how it leads into the other couple of days. You know, if you're hooking up with someone really quite special, anything could happen. So there you go. That's my top tip.
Thank you very much.
So make it like a 3-day thing, you know. Don't make it gone in one day. Let it last the whole year, you know.
Yes, I think you were saying this, Cátia, weren't you? It's like it doesn't have to just for that one day of the year.
Yeah. Completely. Yeah.
I think you've got company.
Yeah, who's that?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not sharing. I am sharing. I am sharing the space. So.
It's like we're like in one of those digital nomad workspaces.
Yeah, kind of. Sorry.
Where are we going next?
Okay, next. I'd just like to say, Carl, I love the Luso legend, Cátia Lima, a bit. I loved it. I'm
You're
seeing it
welcome
on.
to use that. Yes, please do. I will forever call you that. I will refer to you as the legend.
I loved it. Thank you. Okay, next we have cookies and biscuits. The shop, the website, sorry, is all in Portuguese. But
Right,
you know,
that's
it's
a
pretty,
workout.
yeah,
That's a
it's, yeah,
workout.
it's pretty straightforward. They have an online shop as well. It's a brand called Pauperio, also from the north.
Uh-huh.
Also an old brand. For anyone having grown up
Oh,
in Portugal,
yes.
we used to have. I mean, it's not a question of we used to have, but having this big boxes of biscuits from this brand was kind of a treat around Christmas.
Yeah.
You see this assortment sort of thing, and then there are some. There's only one showing there that's kind of wrapped up. Those were so good.
I love a big assortment box like this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's have a look then. Flavor with history. Let's see what
Yeah.
is going on here. Oh, I think there's stories of the company there. And
They
let's
have some stuff here in the. If you go to Loja, you know the shop, they have
Yeah.
some stuff especially for Valentine's. Loja de Namorados. So you have
look
this
at that. Those
the,
are the
the
graphics.
traditional. Yeah, you have the traditional baskets as well.
They're lovely.
I had one of those when I was a kid.
Did you? That's
Yeah,
lovely traditional Portuguese branding there.
Yes.
Love it. The fabrica, of course, and that's what I mean. That's the word for factory, isn't it? Or
Yeah, fabrica. Yeah.
fabrica. So there you go. The polpero, polperio.
Pauperio.
Pauperio range there of confectionery. That's fantastic. Superb. There was a question from Deagle before about, of course, the red carnation.
Ah,
So, is it traditional to give roses? I mean, the
yeah.
carnation is really associated with the revolution, isn't it, rather than
Yes.
Valentine?
Yeah.
So he's going to be safe with red roses.
Yes. Always a safe bet. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Excellent. Thanks for asking, though, Deagle.
Unless, of course, the person he's giving them to really loves carnations. But we don't. Again, we don't really celebrate Valentine's as much as other countries. So we don't have a traditional association except for roses, which
Yes.
everyone does. So.
Okay. All right. What else have you got for us this morning?
Next, since we talked about biscuits and cookies, we can talk about tea. Coreana, which is the brand of tea from the Azores. Yeah.
The tea leaves I'm buying in Intermarché are so weak, and I do need to get my hands on some proper Azorian tea.
Is this what you want for
This would be a fantastic Valentine's gift for me, Mrs. M.
Let's
Really
have a look.
would. So let me just find this here. And going to the Azores to get it ourselves would be an even better.
Yeah, that would be much better.
Yeah, that would be a really nice gift, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
God,
Oh,
yeah.
wow, that's a beautiful website.
More fabulous
Lovely
packaging.
colour.
Yeah.
I know, and that's why you need you guys, you need to talk to Walter because he's the one who made the agreement.
Should we come back to you in a little while, Katya?
Maybe.
It might be some,
You've got some serious negotiating going on in the background there, I think.
Sorry.
I wonder if the person in the
No,
negotiating.
it's not a problem. I'm quite intrigued by it. But
It feels like we're listening to them.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm looking at tea on the one hand, and I'm being drawn to what's going on with the conversation as well. So should we check? No, it's not really not a problem. Should we check in with you a bit later?
Yeah, sure.
And we'll bring the. What I'll do is I'll put you in the green room for a minute, and then just wave to us when it's good to come back. We're also being by the Portuguese. I think you'll be intrigued by what this man has to say about. I'm a little bit nervous about having him on the show, but we'll see you in a little while, okay?
Okay, thanks. All right.
Okay. Bye for now. Let's give him a nice round of applause. He is the Portuguese. You saw his meme earlier on with all the wonderful mimetic characters that he's put into a fabulous meme arriving here in Portugal. Shall we go to the beach or shall we go and get our NIF number? Let's go to the beach with the Portuguesa. Here he is.
Wow. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I still can't get that song out of my head. It's testing your speakers on StreamYard. Have a great show. Something like that, right? That's
Yeah,
cool.
Yes.
we sing that as well.
Well spotted.
Yeah.
So where are you this morning? You look like you might be in a primary school reception. Is that
Well, no, this is my the grand office at my home. So this is it. Yeah, this is
all
it.
right.
Yeah.
It's great. It's great, and we see you in all sorts of states of geography and undress around Portugal. You seem to be on the one hand loving life in Portugal, and then on another being quite openly candid about your experiences here as well, which sometimes upsets people on social media. Loads of people pile into your comments, and then you turn them off, which I think is hilarious.
Well, I'm trying to help people. You know, it's a mental health thing, isn't it? I see people starting to get out of control, and I think, well, I've got to put a stop to that. So, from my point of view, I love Portugal. You know, if I didn't want to be here, I wouldn't be here. It's as simple as that. And it's a lovely place to live, lovely people, very, very social people. You can see them if they're not socializing with each other, they're on the phone, in the car, driving usually. But lovely place to be, lovely, friendly place. And I noticed last week you had Stuart from Spain Speak.
Spain Speaks. This is Stuart of Spain Speaks.
Spain Speaks. Yeah, you can do a better Aussie accent than I can. And I used to be Stuart's #1 fan. I don't know if people realize this, but I did actually start off in Spain before I came to Portugal. We were there for a couple of months. Possibly the only place on planet Earth where the bureaucracy is worse than Portugal. Without a doubt, Stuart's #1 fan. He never acknowledged me, even though I made a video for him.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
I played it to you, Mrs. M, didn't I? Like Tony's family's tribute to Spain Speaks.
Yes, you did.
I mean, every day we watched him, and I listened to him. You know, he's really got the same humor as me. It's very dry. Dry as a nun's unmentionables, as they say. But
yes, perfect.
Perfect sense of humor, and but miserable guy. He absolutely hates life in Spain, and I don't know if he's trapped there because of his job or
against his will,
or his never mentioned wife or whatever. Who knows? But
no, she's lovely. We've met his wife and his son. I think it's a bit of a shtick, isn't it?
Sure, of course it is. I mean, if you like, I grew up in Australia, so I know what's going on there. Yeah, he's a great guy. But I mean, we took his advice at the end and moved to Portugal. So I don't know if Stuart's watching the show, but if you are, mate, you lied about the food, and it's been raining for 3 months. You told me it was going to be great food, sunshine every day. There were cars floating down the street in Lisbon, mate. You didn't mention anything about that. I can see snow from my window.
Yeah. That was really unusual and awful, wasn't it? But hold on a minute. I feel like I need to come to the defense of Portuguese food here. What's your beef? Pardon the pun.
Well, where's the beef? I mean, you know,
fair enough.
People keep saying to me, "Well, what is a good example of English food? Have you never been to a Sunday carvery?" You know, and then there's lots of traditional British food that I enjoy: steak and ale pie. You know, cottage pie, shepherd's pie, a good fish and
you're
chips.
upset you can't get that here?
Well, I can't get it here. I mean, maybe that's where I am. I'm in central Portugal. But the thing is, I'll mention this on Facebook, and people will say to me, you know, bugger off back to England. And it's like, well,
I've noticed this, Tony.
But can you imagine that said in the other direction? Can you imagine if someone in Portugal said, "Hey, does anyone know where I can get peri-peri sauce?" And they said, "Why don't you bugger off back to Portugal?" There'd be an uproar, wouldn't there?
That's right. In London, we say you just need to go to Stockwell.
Well, that's right. That's the other thing. Is people say, "Well, you missed the peri-peri chicken," and I'm like, "Well, we had a Nando's in Wickham, you know." Look, I'm not getting anything new, am I?
Sarah, you make a really good point, actually. Yes, one way round. You that would be an outrage, an outroar. If somebody said, "Yeah, bugger off," if you don't like it, bugger off back. That would be really off, wouldn't it? In England,
Well, it's a certain kind of person. It's a certain kind of person that says that. And I'm sure people who are saying it to me aren't that kind of person, right? Right? Yeah. That's normally about when I turn off the comments, by the way, when it starts getting a bit,
Yeah, and you just leave. I noticed, but I mean, that can't be good for their mental health, Tony, to just be left seething with no right to reply. But I guess you get the last laugh like that, don't you?
I've got to ask, where are you posting your posts? Like, are you posting them in some of the really dry?
It's where he hasn't been kicked off.
Okay, because like I do notice that some of the expat forums are really serious and like almost sanctimonious. Where people are just wanting to be offended almost. They're just waiting for someone to like offend them with something, against Portugal. Are you deliberately picking these kinds of places?
I don't think so. I mean, I normally post on expats in Portugal, which is a group that I enjoy visiting. I mean, I'm one of those. I actually like Facebook. I enjoy keeping in touch with people and socializing because we are a bit isolated out here in central Portugal. But I don't just post what people might think is controversial. Because to me, I'm not posting them because I think they're controversial. I'm posting them because I think it's funny. It's something that makes me laugh, And I also post things like jokes, and I also ask questions, and I also give tips and advice where something's happened that I can help people with.
Yeah.
But I have been banned from a few groups. Yeah, and I think that happens when people report you to the admins more than a few times, and I think. Not to get too serious, I think it's a problem with social media, or possibly the world generally, is sometimes the loudest minority kind of steer the ship in a way. So I definitely see that on social media. Yeah.
No, I think so. And people do miss sometimes, don't they, that you're having a bit of fun, and if they don't like it, they could scroll along. I think it's you're part of a very interesting social experiment, aren't you? And it's all quite new to us, isn't it, as human beings? And it is a shame when you get kicked out or turned off, unnecessarily, or people gang up in quite a righteous and moral way.
Yeah, it's very much like Lord of the Flies, isn't it?
It can be, can't it? And it's very often done in what seems to be a very sort of noble way, when in fact it is just straight up sort of censorship and cutting people off and not being broad enough to counter or to include and just carry on the conversation. But if anyone is watching and thinking, that's him, he's the guy.
Oh no.
And what I found was really hilarious, Tony Bryant, your name is an anagram of rant by Tony.
Yeah. I do like a bit of a rant. I do like to have a bit of a rant. My children often tell me off about it, but I've noticed that my children are starting to do the same thing. So I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. Yeah, but I do like a bit of a rant.
Yeah,
I find it a way to let off steam. I mean, for example, again, getting a bit serious, but I like to ride my motorcycle, and sometimes I'll be riding along, and I can see there's a guy behind me, like 1 centimeter off my back wheel, in a Ford Fiesta or something. How he can even be driving that fast? Not that I ride fast, but I mean, I can see the mustache and everything in the rear view mirror. They're that close, and I do need to let off steam when that happens, because I always say with Portuguese people, as I say, I love Portuguese people, really, really, I do. But there seems to be like it's either out of the car, mañana, in the car, full speed ahead. There's only two speeds, aren't there?
Well, it seems only right then that we asked Cátia about this, and I don't mean.
Please forgive me, Cátia. I haven't met you, and I've just insulted every Portuguese person, haven't I? I really don't mean it. I really don't mean it.
He didn't know you were on this morning with us, Cátia. I don't think. But, what is that? What is that split personality thing like behind? There is definitely a different character, isn't there, of Portuguese people behind the wheel?
Yeah.
and then in everyday life.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I've known a few people who pretty much indulge in what do you call that, road rage. But honestly, I don't know.
Because I don't find it aggressive. I think I was talking to, we were interviewed yesterday by somebody who's organising a conference, an online conference about coming to Portugal, and they asked specifically about the driving. And it's not aggressive, Tony, is it? It's just a way of doing it.
It's just the way. Yeah, I don't feel like I never have. In England, if you had someone tailgating you, they'd be flashing their lights and beeping the horn.
Yes.
But you don't get that here. You get people, they just want to go faster than you for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've got important appointments or what.
I imagine so. Yeah. Got to get to lunch. Which I want to bring you back to, Tony. So the thing about food, then you're upset you can't get a shepherd's pie, and I'm not going to say why don't you go back to England then?
Well, you said that to me. Why don't I go back to England?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I thought the point you made was really good. You know, you wouldn't say that in England to somebody who was asking about their favourite foods. Why don't you just bugger off back? Well, and I suppose what they might say to you is go to the Algarve, where you can definitely get a pint of Guinness and a shepherd's pie probably on a Sunday. But it's not the same, is it? It's not the same. We don't have I mean, and even the phrase "Little England" is negative, isn't it? Like little Portugal in Stockwell is a beautiful place to go to enjoy and find Portuguese food. If you talk about Little England, it's like, oh yeah, here we go. It's those
it's kind of off limits, isn't it? Because I think when people say English culture nowadays, they mean the lowest common denominator of English culture. Do you know what I mean? They're not, people aren't saying English culture. They mean that sort of stereotype of the lager lout, you know, maybe the chav, maybe you know what I mean?
I haven't heard that word for ages.
Yeah. I'm getting a bit old. It's probably out of fashion now. Kids are probably laughing at me again, but yeah. I mean, when I talk about the food in Portugal, I'm not saying the food is bad. What I'm saying is that there's a group of people who, so I see, for example, on the expat group, you'll see people saying, oh, I'm thinking about moving to Portugal. And then you'll see people, oh, you have to do it. The weather's beautiful every day. The food is fantastic. It's the best in the world. I'm like, best in the world. The national dish is a sandwich with gravy on it. Do you know what I mean?
Katya's face. Look at this. This is what he does, Katya.
And if you don't get there on time, all you can have is ham and cheese toasty. That's what my nan used to make for me when I was a child. Do you know what I mean? It's a snack.
I think he's working it, isn't he? With this the national dish is a sandwich with gravy on it.
Isn't it? What's it called? What's the thing called?
Francesinha.
Yeah, see, that was the name of my first girlfriend. That's how long that goes back for me.
That's why you've got a little bit of a.
Yeah.
Actually, I thought you were talking about bifana. But that's a sandwich with gravy on it and meat.
It is.
Yeah.
But it's not a national dish. And francesinha is not a national dish either.
Yeah.
What would you say your national dish is, Katya?
I would have to say something with cod.
Yes, of course.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Anything. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That would be the national dish. Not bifana and not francesinha. Sorry, no.
I do have a question to make, which is I'm not a fan of seafood. So in this case, this would be my problem, right? I know.
Tony.
Right.
Yeah.
In that case, that would be your version of, or what do you think is the Portuguese, national dish, bearing in mind your tastes. But neither bifana nor francesinha are national dishes. No.
Yeah.
No.
Go to some Alentejo.
But in a way, that's a good point that you've made there, Katya. When I'm saying I don't like something, that's just my opinion. You know, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but sometimes people get angry and defensive.
Sometimes, I'm sorry, I'm not sure if that's. I think I remember seeing a few of your posts on the expats in Portugal.
Oh my God!
I pretty much no. I'm just gonna say pretty much. I just gave up on posting there because I don't have really the mental energy to deal with that sort of comment. That apparently you don't either, because then you turn off the comments. So anyway,
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, this is it. I mean, the great thing about Tony is like he's talking about this, right? And we can have a laugh about it. Yeah, for sure. And thank you, Cátia, for being here. It's almost like you're the one woman defense of Portugal, which we haven't got you here for that reason at all. But I know you can give as good as you get as well in this environment.
I was going to say what I was going to say. Sorry, I was talking about the food.
The national dishes. Yeah, it's
national dishes.
Another correction.
Opinion.
It's a regional dish, not a national one. The seafood. You see, Darren was saying, I'll be honest, I did have a craving for fish and chips this week. Well, then why don't you go back to England?
Why don't you go back to England, Darren?
Yes.
Actually, I can recommend Waves in
San Martino.
Can I do that? Can I do that?
Of course you can. Yes, okay. Mary will be delighted to hear
Mary
you.
Holden, Waves. San
Martino de Porto.
It's where we live.
Yeah.
We live
cool.
there.
Cool. Well, you can get good fish and chips there if you've got a craving. Yeah,
it's true. But you know, I think we have to thank the Portuguese for fish and chips, don't we? I think the origins of fish and chips.
I've heard that. That fish and chips are originally a Portuguese dish. Yeah.
That's right.
So there we go.
Darren says everything we've eaten has tasted really good, lots of flavour and seasoning. I needed a small ham and cheese toasty because the other meal portions are massive. That's just a little snack, isn't it? The tosta. I love the tosta mista, me.
Tosta mista.
Yeah.
It's the first Portuguese we learn, isn't it? Tosta mista.
Yeah.
Tosta mista.
That's right.
Obrigado.
Yes. Well done, Tony.
Yeah. Apparently, I've got a certificate that says I'm A1 in Portuguese. But I still need some work. Yeah.
Did you go to classes?
We went to classes. Yep, we went to classes, and we got our A1. We want to do our A2 this year.
Yeah,
and we'll see how we go. I kind of know lots of nouns, but stringing them together with the you have to change the gender of words, and that's still sort of beyond me. But I can kind of have caveman conversations with people, if that makes sense.
You've seen them on social media.
Yeah.
Emma's here. I think a few people, the pennies dropping, Tony. It's like, that's him. He's on, and we're thinking of, hoping that you'll be a regular, because I do love it that you've got your tongue firmly planted in your cheek when you're doing this as well. And I do love your honesty. I agree about expat forum, says Emma. It's like wolves waiting to pounce. Yeah. Yes, there are those other people, aren't they? They can be so awful to each other. And I always think, would they be the same if they weren't hiding behind the keyboard there? Cátia, I think you wanted to come in with something on that.
Yeah, sorry. Because of that comment, I remembered what it was that I was going to say. Sometimes what gets people mad and making that sort of comment, like go back home or whatever, it's not so much what you say, but the way in which you say it. And I've noticed there's a big difference between Portuguese and English, especially Americans. That happens a lot. Sometimes it's not the way people say it, but the way what people say, but the way they say it. That's
the
kind
tone,
of offensive. Yeah.
The tone.
Yes.
I can say, speaking from an English point of view, and I apologize to any Americans, and I'm generalizing.
Yeah,
I think Americans, for example, are more resistant to irony and sarcasm than Brits and say Australians, for example, and maybe because I made it. For example, I made a joke last year on April Fool's Day. I went on the forum and I said, listen, remember that we're all switching to driving on the left today. I said I went out for a drive this morning. There were loads of people who have forgotten, and I nearly had a few crashes. Or I can't remember how I wrote it, but you get the gist. And some people got angry with me. And funnily enough, I noticed at least a couple of them were Portuguese people, and it made me try and be aware that if English isn't your first language, it might be difficult to miss. Or I don't even know if Portuguese people know about April Fool's Day. Maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you know what I mean? So I suppose I do. I should consider those things. So
But I don't think you're going to, honestly.
I can learn. Not I will learn.
To be fair, Tony, that's exactly the kind of thing Carl would do. He often does things like that,
and then blame Tony.
And I'm like, you're going to get like crucified for that.
Yeah.
And he does it anyway.
When I hear that, I think, yeah, okay, let's go. And I think, Tony, you're probably the same as well.
What about this? What if 100 people get a laugh,
Yeah.
and 5 people get offended?
That's life, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's life, right?
Do you know what I mean? Because I actually made that comment on the last sort of joke I did on expats in Portugal. There was something like 115 likes and like little laugh emojis, and I presume people put those there because they liked the post or laughed at it. That's what I guess. And there were 3 or 4 people who were asking the admins to ban me, and I've noticed now, since that day when I go onto expats in Portugal, I can't post. I go into a queue for the admins to check, and I thought, well, it seems like most people got the joke, right? And a couple of people were offended. So I don't know.
Well, yeah, and I understand their pain as admins as well, because they
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they've got a job to do. But you have launched your own social media career.
That's what I was just about to say. Like, have you got your own page and set up your own community? Because I actually really like a bit of
irreverent humor.
Yeah, I love irreverence. And in fact, I'm subscribed to a Portuguese one, which is really irreverent. And I love it. Yeah, get some really good memes there. I would absolutely love to see. I don't go on expat forums. I've really got no interest unless I'm trying to find a local plant or find some chickens or something. It's the only time I ever go on them. So where
are you, Tony?
Where are you? How can we find you?
Where can people find you? I mean, if they search Portuguese, they're likely to find you on the various platforms, aren't they?
Yeah, so I'm Portugueza on YouTube. I think it's the Portugueza, all one word. Yeah, the Portugueza. So I'm on YouTube, Insta, Twitter, and what's the other one? Facebook, obviously. Okay. Facebook. Yeah, and we've just started doing it, and it's something that it's going to be a little project with my older son, who's interested in doing some video editing. We used to live in Hong Kong, and I had a small school in Hong Kong for about 10 years.
Did you?
And we used to make a lot of music videos and that sort of thing for children, educational videos, because I was an English teacher. And that YouTube channel has got quite a lot of videos, but we sort of stopped doing that now. COVID came along, and now I still teach, but it's all online now. Mm-hmm. But we want to get back into the old video editing, and I've bought myself one of these. Have a look at this, Carl. Have a look at this.
What's he going to show?
You seen these?
Oh yes, Capricorn Chris has got one of these. This is the 360 camera, is it?
It's a 360 camera. Yeah, can't wait to put that on the back of my bike. And I'd like to some more sort of serious stuff as well. I mean, where everywhere in Portugal is beautiful, right?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. There's some places that just blow you away with the beauty, and we live just under the I'm going to mispronounce this, Cátia, can you forgive me? Estrellas, is that right? Estrellas, the mountains.
Serra da Estrela.
Yes. Yes, Australia. Yeah,
I'm muting Cátia in and out there. That was a really incisive contribution. Thank you very much. There, Tony. I think you're.
And I mean, it goes from lush green valleys to kind of granite to snow to what I mean, and you can on the bike, it's really amazing, and I'd like to get some footage of that. Maybe with the microphone and me sort of.
I can't wait.
Give you my thoughts about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and hopefully, this will be a monthly residency for you as well. Looking forward to talking to you again on here. We've got some feedback for you, as you would expect. I think there was this moment. Oh. Yeah. I imagine that goes on quite a lot.
I'm pretty thick-skinned, Carl. Yeah, you have to be.
I think, yes, but this is the bad news, Tony. Apparently, you can't get an A2 unless you like seafood.
Oh, come on, come on. Yeah.
Yes, you've got to eat a prawn in front of the examiner. Portuguese should have consulted Beyond Lisbon about Portuguese food and culture. Yes, I think we can probably set up a training program. based on what we've discovered today and how helpful Cátia has been.
Mm.
Love fish in Portugal. So many different varieties of fish to choose from. It's great. However, I'm not a fan of fish and chips in the UK. I think it's the batter.
You know what?
You're allowed to be wrong. That's okay.
On the fish subject, has anyone in Portugal found smoked mackerel? I'd really love some smoked
haddock as well.
Smoked haddock. I really want some smoked haddock at the moment.
Well, then you should go back to England.
I know.
Go back to England.
Go back to
I
England.
was just realizing I haven't had any for about 5-6 years. I'd love it.
Yes. And I think this is true of you, Tony, as well, from our conversations. I think the difference is if you're setting out to offend people or not. I don't get that sense at all. I just think you want to live in a grown-up world where people can say what's on their mind and talk about it.
Yeah.
There's absolutely nothing in it for me. For anyone listening, there's nothing in it for me to post on a Facebook group with intent to offend. There's literally no reason for me to do that. It's just to have fun. It's
like a public service announcement. We've put the record straight for a rant by Tony Bryant, the Portuguese, officially in the public domain. Some folks go around looking to be offended. Well, that's true, isn't it? It would appear that way anyway. The batter. I can't believe it. Darren and Chris are having a conversation about batter in the chat. But the batter can vary at each shop. Some are better than others. Yeah, you want a bit of beer in there, really. João de Nort, speaking as an American, finding new ways to get offended has become a bloody epidemic in the US.
It's a problem. It's a problem. Yeah.
Yeah. And Sarah de Stella, of course, Antonio F., thank you for that.
Thank you, Antonio. Yeah.
Jacob Pedersen this morning. I think that the important thing is whether the punchline hits downward. That's a nice way of putting it, isn't it? Then 5 offended people can.
I get your point. I do get your point, but obviously I have no idea who's going to read those posts.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously I wouldn't. I can't think of a good example, but I wouldn't go into a space deliberately and make jokes about people if I thought it was punching down. Yeah.
Yes. No.
I get Jacob's point though.
Me too. Yeah. And the interesting thing is that person who you did offend, you don't even know who they are, do you? It's not like
I know who they are.
You got up that morning and said, okay, I'm going to offend X, Y, or Z. Those 3 people who end up getting offended. It kind of happens, doesn't it? And I'm sure you'd be open to having a conversation. And that's the problem with social media. You can't, can you? Once it's gone to a certain point, it breaks down, doesn't it? However, we can have it out here in this environment. If anybody,
Cátia made a good point as well about tone, and I often say, to people, don't read tone on the internet.
That's hard.
Yeah. I know it's not easy, but don't read tone on the internet.
It's not just. It's also another thing from my experience as having someone who has a blog and used to post a lot on the Facebook group we mentioned just a while back. What I've noticed is that either people are actually losing the ability to read and interpret things, or they just read it. No, honestly, they just read it. They read the title and they assume a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like, for example, for me, the water drop, the last water drop for me was when I posted something about a blog post I had written on Portuguese cafes, the place.
Yes.
And there were several people there who had obviously not read the blog post, and who were telling me horrible things about Portuguese coffee. I never said Portuguese coffee is great, the best, whatever. I was just talking about the place itself and how it is, a hub for people to meet and all of that.
Yeah.
So to me, that was like, I have no energy for that.
Well, this is
instead of turning off the comments, I just left.
This is TikTok brain, isn't it? Most people never get past the headline or the byline. Most people don't read. They won't read a whole blog post. So it's like that.
And don't say anything.
Yeah. Or then there'll be what else I see is a lot of what I call straw man arguments, isn't it? Where they will take one of your points and then twist it, and then so you don't like Portuguese coffee? Then it's like, what? That's not what I said.
Yeah. So,
Tony,
have you got to go do some teaching at 10?
I have to go do some teaching. Carl, Cátia, and
Louisa.
Or
Mrs. M.
Mrs. M.
No.
Thank you. It's been fantastic, and I just want to leave with this last comment, which is Nazaré is not a good place for surfers. Okay, it's not a good place for surfers. I hear this all the time. Apparently tomorrow there's going to be big waves. 99% of surfers, you can't surf those big waves.
You're right.
360 days of the year, it's flat. Do not park there thinking that you're going to get to surf. Okay, go to Peniche or somewhere like that.
Well said. It's for the go to Peniche. It's definitely the professional surfers place. As a public service announcement, basically, a safety announcement. So thank you for that, Tony. Have a great day, and we'll see you again next month, I hope.
All right. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Ciao, ciao. And may we have a bit more Valentine's input in terms of indie stores. That's it.
Yes.
Let's have one more.
So,
We get to
oh, hi.
Hello. It's very organic today, isn't it? Very organic everywhere around our audience today.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're moving on to skincare products, all of them as well vintage brands.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. One of them is Klaus Porto from the north, as you can see from the net title.
Yep.
They're a bit more upscale. Sorry. Yeah. You got the link?
I've got the link, and I'm going to share that on the screen for everyone now. So these are nice. So what's her name? Who's the woman who made the candles that we were talking about?
Can you take me off the screen, please?
Sorry, Mrs. M. That was who was it though, Mrs. M, who made her scented candles? Oh, she's gone. But there was a famous actress, Gwyneth Paltrow, was it?
Yes, Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh yes. Okay. Well, these are not those.
No.
These are cherry by the look of it. Cherry flavored, or not flavored, cherry scented candles. Let's have a look at these. They're going to be a nice addition, aren't they, to a Valentine scene? Or even if you just want a bit of quality time on your own at home. These look fantastic. Tell us about them.
Yeah. If you go to the left side of the screen and then you click on something that says Musgo Real, that's one of the oldest, probably the oldest product they have.
Okay. What does that mean? This is a musgo.
Royal Moss.
Moss?
Moss is musgo. Royal Moss.
Okay,
it's an old name of an old brand, you know. That's the man, obviously.
These look fantastic. Like a bit like the toothpaste company, they do a cologne, don't they? I really like the look of this, and they've even got it's like the old-fashioned perfume spray with the rubber ball.
Yeah. They've created several variations on this in the meantime, of course, but the original one is the one with the green bottle. The classic, obviously.
That is fantastic. And so what have we got? Is that a toothpaste? Oh, shaving cream. A shaving cream for... And look at that from the 70s, a soap on the rope. Mrs. M, that's what I want for Valentine's, a soap on a rope. Look at it.
Wow.
From Klaus Porto. This is superb. Where do you hang it in the shower?
Does the rope come out?
I don't know.
The rope does come out. Yes, it does.
It looks very nice.
It does look very beautiful,
it's
doesn't
like
it?
Soap on a rope bomb.
Soap on a rope.
It looks like a grenade.
We've
very manly, right?
It's a manly looking brand. I do love that. That's wonderful. And I wonder if we could pay a little homage to those graphics and we could do a Good Morning Portugal style mug using some of the that and other Portuguese graphics. That is very, very classy and very special. Thank you for introducing us to that. I'll put the link for that on the screen as well. I don't know how much more or how long you want to stay with us. It's been a bumpy ride.
No, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I have time. No worries.
Okay, cool. Okay, let me just get that on the link for folks as well. Very nice indeed. Thank you for reminding me, says Bryant English TV, that Valentine's Day is coming. By the way, I forgot her birthday this year. You know that? Oh, is that Tony Bryant? I think it might be as well. Bryant English TV. Yeah, Tony. Maybe you need to double down and get a few of these things that Cátia is recommending us to us this morning. Superb. Love that one, Cátia.
Thanks. Okay, so next we have another company called AC Brito. AC stands from, it's a short version of Aquilles. In the way it used to be written way back when. Also another old brand.
Yes. Thank you so much for finding these and bringing them to our attention. I think this should also be part of the A2 certificate, is that you have these in your home and support these fabulous brands. Quite frankly, it's important, isn't it, that they get the support. Are these successful companies as well as fabulous companies?
Yes,
They are,
yes.
right? So
I mean, they
Portuguese,
stood the test of time.
yes.
Of course, they're not big brands in the sense of humongously big brands, but yes.
Yeah.
And it's what I find amazing is that they still do some of their classic products. Like in this case, for example, you go to the colognes,
Yeah.
and
I've had this. I didn't know it was them. I have bought this
Yeah.
in a supermarket. I love that.
Yes.
I love that cologne.
Yeah, that's one
Wow.
of their oldest products. Yes, the lavender cologne. It's
And
a
the
classic.
magnolia. This is lovely. And you know, compared to other colognes and perfumes, the big brands, not that expensive, right? Those when you go to an airport, and that's the only time I really see perfumes and colognes, and I look at them in there, and I have a quick squirt of it, obviously, because it gets a bit stressful in the airport, and you've got to smell good. But I'm astounded by the price of these things and these brands, obviously, with all the celebrity endorsement and marketing. These look like much more honest, authentic prices to me. Superb. Okay. Brito. I have seen this one, and look, there's probably the founder, right? Achilles, that would be the man himself. Achilles de Brito becomes a partner at Klaus and Schweder. How amazing. Look at these lovely photos. Superb. 100th birthday then. So they made it from 1918 through to 2018 there. That is superb. Thank you very much for that.
Okay, so last brand in terms of skincare is a brand called Ben Amor. One of their products used to be one of the favorites of the last Portuguese queen, Rainha Dona Amélia.
Oh, really? Right. Okay. All right. And this is Ben Amor 1925, which is another clue to its longevity. It's had a little bit of a remix for the modern age by the look of it, by the styling here. Let's bring it onto the screen. Natural cosmetics. Who knew? You don't have to worry about Body Shop and L'Oreal, do you? You can get these things from authentic Portuguese companies. Isn't that lovely? What do you like about this one, Cátia?
Well, also, on the one hand, they've also adapted to modern times, as you can see, and they also have this stuff like solid shampoos, that sort of thing, with different types of products. But they've pretty much kept the type of product as well. I remember seeing actually back in the 80s, and I think up until at least the early 90s, they had this little tube of what we called cold cream as well. It had something like that as well.
Cold cream. That's what Grandma used to put on her face at night, right?
Yes. But they've evolved so much, and now they have a very big range of different products. And the packaging is still very much vintage. It's not just good for your skin product. It's also a pretty product, I think.
It's incredible. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the beauty of these things, isn't it? They are natural and good, and we can support Portuguese companies and be involved in these.
And I think it's amazing actually that we have in Portugal so many. Now that I think of it, we have so many companies that still have that vintage image to them, and like Pasta Couto that you mentioned in the previous show.
Yes.
The package is still the same.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, we're talking about, I think, imported events, and you alluded to this for sure, didn't you? I'm a little bit amused that Valentine's Day is a thing in Europe. It's completely an artificial American invention to sell merch. Yes, hang on, wasn't St. Valentine European? Probably was originally. I love Valentine's Day. We need more love and romance in the world. Yeah, and we can see it from all these angles, can't we? He was, but not the holiday itself. Yeah, Halloween, much more American. And I think like Paolo, that's a good comment. We can put these things into a similar sort of bracket, can't we? Easter, Christmas, Valentine's, Halloween. It's just one non-stop merch fest for some parts of our culture. But of course, Victoria, absolutely right. We can certainly do with more love in the world. And so any opportunity to celebrate love is a good one, I think. Love all the special history tidbits Cátia brings to the Valentine's gift. Thank you so much. I'm generally speaking, Cátia, you are the loser legend. You are our window into.
I'll put it on a t-shirt. Loser legend.
Yes, definitely. That's another bit of merch, but for the Good Morning Portugal shop. Maybe in 100 years' time, we'll still be selling them, just like these people are. But
Who knows?
thank you for bringing this window to us, a deeper look at Portuguese culture, which we might not be able to figure out for ourselves. So I really appreciate you for that. Clarification: I'm not against Valentine's Day. I'm just bemused, as Joao de Nort. Thank you, John, this morning. And St. Valentine's, a patron saint of epilepsy, interestingly, as well there. Incredible. Yeah, I'm not sure we see St. Valentine very much, do we, alongside San Martino, Sant Antonio, and San João here in Portugal necessarily.
No, it's a recent thing.
Yeah, definitely. You can never be alone on Valentine's Day if you're near a lake and have bread. Very good. That's a cheap day out and a cheap date, isn't it? Cátia, thank you so much. The Luso legend has been with us this morning and joins us.
Sorry. Just one more, because I mentioned it on the. Sorry, just quick.
As you wish.
It's a website, because I'm thinking about all the men who don't care about skincare products, about chocolate, about anything, tea, whatever, and they want something really manly like beer. So you have something. I found out a website. I'm going to put the link here. It's a Portuguese website, and they sell Portuguese craft beers. You have a subscription that you can do. Yeah. And I think they also sell stuff if you want to do, to make your own beer at home.
Well, that's really thoughtful of you. Thank you very much. I'm being asked if I'm over 18 before I go into this. Yes, I can safely say that. And there they are, the Letra I'm familiar with, but a whole host of other beers. A manly, whether you're a man or a woman, this is a manly gift. on Valentine's Day, perhaps there, and gift packs, I'm guessing, of different craft beers. This again is a new one on me, Cátia. Thank you so much for bringing this to our attention. So
you're welcome.
Drop Hop and I'm going to put all of these in our Gumper store as well. I've hastily copied and pasted all the links you've sent to me, and I'll make sure they all go into the Gumper store with your wonderful curation of this collection for us. So thank you so much. I'm doing that so I don't forget. I've got all those links, and they will end up on the Good Morning Portugal website as well. And there's a link through to you, of course, and to be able to buy you a coffee.
Yes.
In fact, I'm going to go there now and get the link to hold on a minute. You can hear me trying to move around the internet, but I'm going to go to our team page and your particular link where people can buy you a cup of coffee and show their appreciation to you with caffeine. This morning as well. So let me just find that link.
Always appreciated by writers.
We will, yes, indeed. We will see you again next month, of course. And Mrs. M rushing back. Everything okay, Mrs. M?
Yeah. Sorry. I noticed Victoria said that her moon is in Sagittarius.
Yes.
So that's your license to be naughty.
Mine is too. I'm also a moon in Sagittarius.
So is Cátia.
Oh, really?
License to be naughty.
Definitely. It's licensed to be playful. This Valentine's Day will be a lot more fun-loving for both of you lovely Saggy Moon people.
How about that?
Enjoy.
Enjoy. I don't think either Cátia or Victoria need a license to be naughty. I don't get that sense at all, do you?
No, but...
Go to Feel Good Astrology for more of that. Thunderduck wants to know if he can get one of those licenses, or do you have to have a moon in Sagittarius? I'm sure we can get some of those printed for you for next week. Yeah, I don't need a license, says Victoria. And there's the link for Cátia. Buymeacoffee.com. That's fairly straightforward, isn't it? And then you /Beyond Lisbon. I've got beer on the screen rather than coffee, but that'd be lovely if you could afford Cátia a cup of coffee this morning. Superb. And let me just get rid of that share on the screen. And it remains for me to say thank you so much, Cátia. Have a great day.
For being here.
And we'll see you again soon. Actually, no, you can't go yet because I've got a couple of dad jokes for you.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Good.
Look, I should have left that on the screen. Life and beer are very similar. Chill for best results. There you go. That's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Get the full rim shot there. My relationship with whiskey is on the rocks. I think this needs that other one as well, doesn't it? No, not that one. This one. Yes. There you go. Thank you, T-Duck, for all your wonderful interventions and contributions. I see Rebel Mama. I remember you, Rebel Mama. What's she got to say here before you go there, Katia? Back to the live comments. Rebel Mama wants to know, I think, about the Gumper store. It is part of our website. If you haven't been to our website for a while, do check it out. We have a store which is really a link to a lot of the wonderful people, including Katia here, some of the team members, some of the co-hosts, some of the guests, and what they do for their real work. And links to those people and to traditional brands, some of these special brands that Katia's introduced us to. So it's a really good way of supporting independent business people. That's the Gumper store. Click onto it from the Gumperverse over at goodmorningportugal.com. Ooh, Rebel Mama, satisfied customer. My husband searches every place we go for Portugal craft beer. So another happy customer. Public service announcement. Feeding wildfowl is actually prohibited in many places. Bread is actually very unhealthy for birds. But go and hang out with them anyway and make new friends by the lake. Cheers, Katia. Take great care. We'll see you soon. Bye for now. Lovely big round of applause for the Luso legend. That is Katia Lima there. And of course, do check out her Beyond Lisbon blog as well. That's WordPress Beyond Lisbon. I've been traveling, trying to keep in the sun. I was in Gran Canaria for a few weeks. Yeah, a bit chilly, was it, in the north? Before that, Madeira. Very nice. And hola, Carl. Great to see you, Rebel Mama. Chris agreeing with that as well. Yeah, nice to have you back in the community here. Fun talking to Tony as well. Rant by Tony Bryant, the Portugueeza. Check him out on social media and his new efforts. We're going to finish with a sunset, a beautiful sunset. Here's another person who's in the Gumper store. It's Owen Lloyd Martin, and his picture store, where you can buy framed prints of his, is also in the Gumper store as well. So in that all-star lineup there, beautiful sunset. Thank you very much indeed, Owen, for that. Let's dwell on that for a moment. Tonight, I'll be over on the Expats Portugal webinar, Understanding Your Tax Obligations. A lot of talk about that at the moment. So do join us over on the Expats Portugal webinar this evening. And you can also sign up for Expats Portugal on the Good Morning Portugal website as well and find out more about Expats Portugal if you don't already know about them. So see you there at 7:30 this evening. And then, of course, in the morning,
Philomena Friday.
We'll see you for some Philomena Friday fun, Feel Good Friday fun tomorrow. So have a great day, dear friends. And we will. I'm tempted to read more comments, but look, it's 17 minutes past 10. It's time to go. Wishing you a splendid day. We'll also have, if you do hang around to the end, I don't know how many of you do this, but if you do hang around to the end of the theme tune, there's always going to be another meme waiting for you. Have a great day. Bye for now. Ciao for now.
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP.
Good morning, Portugal, and I'd like to welcome you to another fantastic day.
Hey, Gumpers.